Good morning, all. This has been a while since I've done one of these from bright, but still grey. Come on, Scotland. Yeah, hope we're all well. It's been a while. So, I'm not actually here to discuss yesterday's game, because anything that could be said has been said, and the game itself wasn't really about what was on the pitch. It was what was off. The David Moyes rivalry, and it wasn't. It was a must not lose game. This comes from someone who is very incredibly grateful for what Moyes has done, but it was, I don't want to say it was a flawed tenure, because we won a major we won a European competition, and when he left us in a good position to push on. So, but as Gio and Gonzo said, it's the post. I'm more annoyed about how we let Lopetegui take over. Someone I didn't want. And anyway, it's happened. We didn't lose. It was disappointing that we conceded in the last minute or in extra time. And well, I did see something. It was a funny stat where West Ham, one of the 7 clubs that I'm conceding like extra time. That's now gone, but I kind of thought, well, we've been that abysmally shit this season that there's been no need for teams to like get a last minute goal, because they're already winning. they don't need one. So as they say, statistics are indicators, not the be all and end all. So that was a fun little record out the window, but it's fine, because I woke up. Normally those kind of results would still annoy me the next day, but they haven't. I'm quite jovial. I've got a really itchy nose at the moment. So I wanted to do this video. There's one thing I want to point out from yesterday's game, but that's you need to watch. You need to entice you. That viewer retention. So there's one thing from yesterday's game I want to discuss, but the main reason I wanted to do this was discuss Potter's tenure so far and what he can do for the rest of the season looking forward. Maybe during international break, if this does well and Gio likes it, I can do a little video discussing my nuclear option that maybe we as West Ham fans should maybe consider. But that's for a different day. So I think Potter's done quite well. He has injected a bit of he's injected something. We're not shit. Or not, we're less shit. So he injected a je ne sais quoi. Or rather, he's just made us harder to beat. Analytics United, I haven't watched that video. I think it was the analysis of the Newcastle game, and their headline was, it was either never in it, never out of it. I feel as though that's what he's done. And I'm not here to criticise Potter. I think he's done a pretty good job so far. We're harder to beat now. but we're not really creatively were shot. So what does he do? Because he's in I want to say he's on the beach, right? West Ham are on the beach now. We are not getting relegated. We are not making any dives for European football. So what can he do? And it was in the discussion about Füllkrug. It's about potentially putting more players on the shop window, because we might be skint. I don't know. I think we might be. We can't, we don't have, we can't justify another 100 million plus spend, or net spend again. We've done that a few too many times, and we don't have a Declan Rice to flog for 100 million plus. So it's about putting players on shop windows, I feel. Füllkrug is one of them. I'm a fan of Füllkrug, but we need, regardless of his ability, the best kind of ability is availability. Apologies. It's a good tea. Lidl's Red Label, by the way, best tea bags. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying. I feel one player who, Alvarez is another one that I feel as though we should be putting on the shop window. And another one is Kudus. Because we ain't going to get anywhere close to that release clause. No one's going to pay that release clause up front. And then no one's going to pay anywhere near that based on this season. Now, we have the mitigating factors that most of our players under Lopetegui have been big poo sandwich. And he has improved under Potter. I'll give him that. And it was our best player against Newcastle, but I also feel as though he was the most frustrating for me, personally, if that makes sense. I feel for every good thing that he done in that game, he had two, and I don't mind, he had two mishaps per one that he done. And I don't mind that, a player of that ability. Dimitri Payet was the same. Like, we look back on Payet, we remember that free kick against Palace. But we also got to remember that sometimes he would put in a stinky delivery. I remember last goal at Upton Park, or maybe the second last goal. I can't remember. It was a free kick, and it just bounces back to him because the delivery was that poor. But then he put in another good one. That's okay. Excellent players like Kudus and Payet are allowed to do that. But I can still get frustrated. And this is the one thing I wanted to talk about. We're going to need to do a bit of sacrificial lamb for Bowen. Because if we want to put Kudus on the shop window and just be like, look, he's back to his best, we need to play him on the right. And yesterday proved my theorem of Jarrod Bowen on the left, because when I was at work on my lunch break, I ended up going down the rabbit hole of our European highlights, and it was a bit emotional. I remember, just like the highs that we had. I even watched the Frankfurt highlight. I remember being so exciting, then it just crashes down, and then there's the hope at the end of the game, and then the next match it comes crashing down. I think it was in the Frankfurt game, or maybe the Olympic Lyonnais game at home. Jarrod Bowen on the left, and he gets the ball, he's running down left, and he puts in this beautiful ball. And I think Bowen, while Somerville's out, and for the rest of the season, we have Kudus on the right, and just say, you're the main guy. Bowen has next season to impress Thomas Tuchel for the England squad. Bowen isn't going anywhere, I hope. And we just need to, get the things up. And I've been talking for 10.5 minutes. I've not really made a point. Like, we're selling Guido Rodriguez, that'll be a nice bit of profit. Probably going to sell Mavropanos. I would sell Areola. Make Fabianski second choice, and we bring in I don't like playing out from the back. I feel punting it, but I also feel he could also be a bit more accurate. That's my thoughts. Other than that, I know. I would bring in a left-sided centre-back a player who can play the left-sided centre-back in a back three, but also left-back in a back four, and then I'd play like Ollie Scarl's left wing back. I'd sell Emerson because, and I say this, I think Scarls will go on to be an important player for us. However, I don't want to overplay him whilst his body is still developing. I kind of learned this the hard way. I was one of those big, play the youth. And then Sam Allardyce against Nottingham Forest made me look like a fool. Anyway. But as a manager, you should be looking out for your players, managing them. You're managing the club results, but you need to look after the players. I feel as though Skulls needs to be looked after, because we don't want, I'm not comparing ability, don't say this, don't shoot me down, but we've seen it with Saka this season. He's been overplayed as a youngster. He got injured, and maybe that injury could have, I don't know how he got injured, but we've seen it with Neymar. We've seen it with these young talents who play every minute as a youth. And Skulls hasn't played Premier League football straight out the bat. He's came in, Potter took him out yesterday. I approve. So I think Potter's going to be a good manager for us. I just feel as though he could maybe, if he's gonna, he could add a bit more je ne sais quoi. Just give us something. We're not going to be relegated. Maybe turn up the flair. I don't know. But he's not going to do that. And I quite like being the pragmatic. We play horses for courses against teams. We were consistently defensive under Moyes, and we were consistently shit under Lopetegui. Maybe mixing and matching will be not too bad. Sorry for rambling. Love yous. Toodle pips.